Hello, I'm Anna, and this is my story. It's been 4 years since my abortion. We had a previous abortion years before when we were young and our relationship was still very new. That abortion didn't really affect either of us, but this time was different. When I was invited to share my story, I pulled out the notebook I wrote in when I was going through my after-abortion healing group. As I read it, I remembered just how sad and broken I was. It was about a month or so after the abortion that I wrote. I sat on the bathroom floor staring at those 2 lines with my husband, staring at me in the doorway. And that night, I filled out an online questionnaire to order the pills, and 2 days later, I took the pill and started crying uncontrollably. I didn't even know how far along I was, and that question still haunts me. The online questionnaire results dated the pregnancy at 4 weeks, but I didn't think that was right from the timing. And after comparing what I saw to fetal development pictures, I was probably at 12 weeks. I wrote in my journal about how I had saved an avocado seed because it was starting to sprout. And how could I care more about this seed than my own? I thought about how my mom had an abortion scheduled when she was pregnant with me, but she didn't go through with it. And I wrote, "Why am I so weak? Where's my motherly instinct for something other than a stupid avocado seed?" I didn't know what to do with the fetus. I couldn't just bury it. I was worried my dog would dig it up. I wrapped it in a paper towel, and it sat on a shelf in my closet. It was a daily reminder. I wrote in my journal, maybe I'm keeping it to punish myself. The one thing I do know is that I'm hurting inside, and I don't know how to heal. Keys to hope and healing saved me. I hadn't spoken to a single person through the whole mail order and abortion process, and every communication was an automated text. And even when I reached out for help when my emotions were so out of control, I got a generic text message followed by a text with some resource links. And that's when I searched online and found support after abortion. The woman talked with me. She told me what I was going through was common, and I was able to start in a virtual group a few weeks later. I really needed that face-to-face support. And it helped a lot to hear other people's stories and to know I wasn't alone. And one day, toward the end, I read to the group from my journal, and I saw them looking at me with compassion and understanding. It was a safe space to talk and cry and share, and it helped me understand my emotions. They helped me believe that I could move on, and it's so cliche, but it was like that weight I was carrying just came off, and I could breathe. The group even helped me brainstorm how I could honor my baby and where I could bury it. We read a story in Keys to Hope and Healing about an elephant who feels chained even when the chain isn't there anymore. And I found a cute little elephant curled up, sleeping, and I buried my baby and placed the little elephant on top. And when I see that elephant, I remember I'm stronger than I think, and I can move forward. Keys to Hope and Healing helped me accept my emotions and that it's okay to be vulnerable and upset. And even now, years after my group, I know it's okay when something triggers a memory or I get sad. I can move on. I'm just so much healthier. A few years after my group, I was watching a YouTube podcast I listened to regularly. But when I heard him say, if you've had an abortion, I was like, I don't want to hear this. I don't need you to judge me. But then he said, some people may say that you're evil, that you don't deserve support, but you're not, and you have my support and my love. And he said, the best thing you can do now is pay it forward. It was so compassionate, so freeing. I broke down in tears. It felt like he was talking right to me, and I thought I need to do something with support after abortion. And that's when I started volunteering, to get that connection, to feel normal and to heal is so important, and that's why I volunteer. Ever since I did Keys to Hope and Healing, I've encouraged my husband to do the men's version. He started it recently, and it's helping him, and it's opening up new layers of discussion and healing for us. It really is true what Support After Abortion says about how healing is a journey, not a one and done. And I'm thankful for their resources and help along the way.